So let's talk about it. This is Queese,
B,
EJ,
Chuck.
Today, man, we're gonna get into the WNBA. All right. I mean, we're gonna break this down, every aspect of it, every layer of it. I mean, we're gonna see, what their future looks like, the good, the bad, the ugly. Everything is gonna get broken down to this because I think with a league like this that's still relatively new. I mean, it's
right, 25 years, 26 years.
Yeah, still relatively new league. What is your outlook? What do y'all see the outlook of the WNBA? Or what do you see when you see the WNBA? Like,
it still needs to grow for me. Like, I see the potential that it has, the potential that it could be.
Right.
I just think I understand the ladies' frustration with the slow progress of the league, because that's exactly what's happening.
That's the issue.
Right, it's a slow progress.
As it should, though.
It needs to grow, but I think there's some things that, personally, I feel like they might need to tweak in order for it to take that next step, to make it to the next level.
Okay. Do you see anything in particular, though? Like what?
Star power. First of all, as far as I'm concerned, like, you have players who are stars in the league, but you don't have a player that's actually somebody you can put the league on and say she's the face of the WNBA.
Right.
You need that type of star power, and for that person to carry that across, while they out, while they in public, when they know everything they're doing from their...
Everybody know who she is.
Yeah, like everybody know who that person is.
Right.
Whereas, the NBA, they always got somebody they can put as the face of the league. WNBA don't have it. They got multiple stars across the league. They don't got one superstar that they can make the face of the league for me. And I think that's the first step that they need to start, progressing and start moving this thing forward.
Question, I felt they had that when they first started out. You had Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops,
that'll be voiced a little bit.
Cynthia Cooper.
They wasn't a face.
No, I'm just saying they had star power.
Well, you got that.
So where do you feel it dropped off at? Like,
I think. Well, here's the thing. See,
because every arena was selling out. It was
that was the first.
The ratings were high,
but that was the first year. Because it was new.
First few years,
yeah, right. Because it was new, and what you had with the Lisa. Remember, you had the Lisa Leslie and the Rebecca Lobo, where they was trying to recreate the Magic Johnson and Bird situation, East versus West. Lobo was on New York Liberty. Lisa Leslie was with the Sparks. So he was trying to create that East-West contrast. Once that faded, you didn't have nobody that was able to recreate that type of rivalry. They was trying to create a rivalry. There was nobody out in the league where you could say is a rival of somebody else in the league.
What's the end goal, right? Like you want them to, you looking for somebody to be the face of the league. What's the end goal, though? What is that? What is that going to in turn increase? You think that's going to be like a better profit? You think they're going now? Like what is going to happen? What is the domino effect going to be if they do have a face?
What you mean domino? Like what?
For the whole league? Like what do you think going to happen? They going to increase in revenue? You think the stadium's going to fill out more?
I think
the demos going. You think more people going to watch now?
I think the first thing you need to do is increase the draw of attention, increase the awareness, increase people to want to look at the game. Yeah. You start getting a player that you can promote that say, "Yo, she's dominating the league." She's not just dominating, she's dominating the league. She's the best player in the league to where they start saying, yo, she can play with, she can put her in the NBA. Like, yo, she'll dominate the NBA. That's how good she is.
Right.
And when you get that one star player that's doing both, not just doing the WNBA, but actually able to compared to do both, and she can carry the league, then you'll start drawing attention. They like, yo,
I think they got players that carry the league, though. I think with
but you're saying players. I'm saying one.
I'm just saying, though, I think the WNBA, what fortunately helps them is they got multiple players that are almost equal as far as elite status, right?
Right.
When you go to the NBA, LeBron's either on top for a while, Kobe's on top for a while. Certain players that was the best. WNBA has a bunch of players that are elite.
So who would you?
So right. I don't necessarily think. I think they have a good enough balance on these teams,
right? That
they can have somebody watch the games for those particular.
Go ahead.
That's the problem. They have good enough balance. What you just said. They don't have an imbalance anywhere. They need an anomaly. They need an anomaly. Like the NBA always has some anomaly type players.
Right.
So if the WNBA had that player, at least that one or two players that can come in and you look at them like, oh, she's nasty. She's doing things that the guys be doing, and she's bringing this draw.
You don't think Breanna Stewart, Ella, you don't think players that are supremely skilled? You don't think
they're skilled, but I don't think they're on
Maya Moore. Like they had players that were like.
I think what you're saying. I think they have players, but do people know who they are besides the people that watch the game?
Right.
Like you want people to know who they are even if they don't watch the W, even if they don't watch the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want that star power.
That's like
people know who LeBron is even if they don't watch. You know, the NBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then when it comes to like, you know, the NBA sells itself, right? It's been around for so long, it sells itself.
But it didn't get that. It didn't start out that way.
No, but it's been around long enough to the point where it sold itself. Like it went out even before LeBron.
Right.
The league was still afloat, right? Like they've been around long enough to have different players take the mantle.
Remember in the late 70s, early 80s, they was almost on their way out.
Right, and it was around in the 50s, right?
Right.
So that's like 20 years, right?
Right, 25
WNBA is like 20 years, right?
So they on it. So
that's what I'm saying. So if you look, they have a bunch of different avenues, though. You look at that WNBA, I mean, a lot of people always go to, you know, their profitability or their revenue or like how much they bringing in. People a lot of times bring up how much the NBA is losing by investing in them. But, you know, as like a business, you know, sometimes when you start a business, you're going to be losing.
You're going to lose, right? You're going to lose.
I mean, you're not going to be losing for 25 years, but this is a bigger scale of a business here. But if you're talking about steps they made to not only increase profitability, they did a lot. I mean, they got more sponsors now.
I see that, right.
They re-upped on their Twitter deal. Mm-hmm. They got a deal with Amazon, and all that is basically the increased viewership.
Right.
Because I think that's the main problem with them, the eyeballs. That a lot of people aren't able to watch a game.
I don't think they are able to watch a game. I think they're looking at it's not just they ain't able to watch a game. Like you said, the promotion in the beginning was.
But no, they don't have the TV deal, so you can't watch it. Like you can't.
Well, this year
a lot of people can't watch it.
They got more TV deals this year.
Yeah, they got more
that's what I'm saying. That's the progress.
Right, they got more TV. Right,
before they didn't have that
because they started putting games on ABC now.
When
games.
They got games on Twitter now.
But it used to be. That's what I'm saying.
It used to be.
Then they stopped.
Right, because it wasn't bringing enough revenue. The attention to the TV, everybody wasn't watching. I remember there was years we didn't even know. Like unless you was following everything, you didn't even know the season.
Yeah, I didn't know what game was on. Yeah,
you just happened to click. I was like, oh snap, the WNBA on. Let me finish watching the game.
That's what I'm saying. When they first started off, I was tuned in all the time, watching every game, every play. I knew when the game was on, everything. Then all of a sudden, something happens where I didn't know when the game was on, what channel.
Also, a lot of
franchises, they fell off. A lot of franchises fell off.
Because Houston used to be the Houston Comets. They ain't even there no more.
Right, and they were champions.
Right, so
but still, I mean, even if they got an investment, $75 million investment, right, for their capital. Right. That's a big step for them.
Right.
Now they can invest that in more advertising, more marketing. That's what they plan to do.
Right.
So all you want to see now is continued growth. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of times I think what happens with the WNBA that they suffer is a narrative that's being pushed. Mm-hmm. And men mostly push this narrative.
Nah.
No, you got to look. When people, anytime you go on Twitter or Instagram, whatever, type in WNBA, any negative comments you see, most of the time it's from men. Mm-mm. Any positive you see, a lot is from females.
No, you know they say.
One of the main things, if a woman misses a layup, they look at it way worse than if men do the same thing.
Yeah, they get
men miss a layup, be like, I ain't watching this.
They get over criticized.
They
get really over criticized with everything.
Over criticized, and that narrative gets pushed around all the time to make it not cool to watch it.
I disagree with you saying it always be men.
No, most of the time it's men.
It's more from men.
It's more from men.
Oh yeah,
it's more from men.
Well, that I will give you because I'll hear a lot of. And here's my problem. This is another problem with the WNBA I have is the viewership. Mm-hmm. You are a female league. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of females watch the WNBA unless they are basketball type people.
And I know still don't watch it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about if they playing ball, like if they they a basketball female that's actually playing basketball, then they'll watch it. But your casual female is not watching.
But that's what I'm saying though. Even females that play ball, a lot of them don't watch it. You know, my daughter play ball, she didn't watch it. She watched the men before.
That's what I'm saying.
She watched the females.
You got it. Your viewership of your main viewership technically should be your audience, which is the women, which is the females. The problem is either they don't watch it, they don't want to watch it, they think they don't compare. They can compare it to the men's and say it's not as exciting. Like I've talked to a lot of female people who watch basketball, and I'm like, and they actually play. I'm like, yo, why don't you watch WNBA? Oh, that's boring. That's corny. I'm like, but that's y'all sport.
Right,
y'all should be supporting it. Right, y'all should be supporting that.
Right. I agree with that.
And to me, I think that's what to me was, even though y'all might say the negative comes from the men. I feel like, the reason why the NBA is as good is because you got almost as many women into the WNBA as you got men.
That's because you've been trained to watch it since a youth. Since a youth, you've been trained to watch it. No, you do not play. As growing up, most households is not sitting there watching WNBA games.
Well, it wasn't that before.
I'm talking about as growing. Even if now the new generation, a lot of them are trained to watch WNBA games. My little sister was not trained to watch WNBA games. She did not watch them.
But what I'm saying,
if your household did that, you would be more as growing up to watch it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, when it comes to the casual female, why is most casual females watching the WNBA? Is it because the NBA? Are they watching because they no? Are they watching?
Their boyfriends take it. It's mad times they see
hold on.
NBA.
I'm going to a different point.
They see you play 2K. Like
I'm about getting to a different point. I'm saying, why do a casual, general female who don't even know diddly squat about basketball watching WNBA? Why?
Because she's sitting next to her man. She's in next to her man.
But you got the star power. And what I mean is, you got the star power. Let's be honest. You have women who look at the guy. He got money. He got fame. He got this status. Right, he's a guy. And the status quo to where now you got females who are just at the games. No disrespect, are being there to be groupies of the superstars.
Right.
You don't got no female that's in the WNBA where you got dudes that are being groupies for these females.
No.
You don't have that, and because that draws attention, regardless how you.
They had it, but guys don't. I could be a groupie of Candace Parker. I'm not gonna go to the game. Like,
see, that's the difference. I'm going to the game.
Right, but most that's not enough to get me to go to a game.
Right. But that's enough for a female to go to a game, and that's
it depends.
But that's still bringing in revenue.
A lot of women like football.
You said the key thing, money too.
I know, but I'm saying, but that type of atmosphere, even back when the players weren't even making that much money, that atmosphere was still bringing in revenue.
What, you talking about the NBA players?
Yeah, the NBA players. When the NBA players weren't even bringing these big contracts that they making now, they still had that type of attraction.
Well, I don't know what you thought the cost of living was back in the day, but they were still considered making a lot of money even back.
I can't say they was making a lot of money when they was doing summer jobs after summer.
You talking about your role players?
I'm talking about the superstars. Was still, even Bill Russell, them will tell you they was doing the summer jobs after the league.
We're going to the 50s.
I'm just saying, even if you're going into the 70s and 80s, they didn't start making these $1 million contracts until like mid 80s.
Well, one of the things I noticed,
endorsement deals and stuff like that too. They were still getting money. So
one of the things I noticed this season though is that a lot of the players are starting to show their personality and being bold.
You gotta get your voice up.
And being bold with what they're saying. Like, you had the girl, she's saying, I'm the best shooter of all time. You know what I mean? You gotta do stuff that to make your stuff stand out. With everybody, you know what I mean? If you're a bad girl, be a bad girl. You know what I mean?
So they got to create storylines and rivalries and stuff like
that. Yeah.
That's what's for the NBA.
Personality, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Remember, if it wasn't for, like they always keep bringing it back, if it wasn't for Bird and Magic rivalry, the NBA would have been in the trash can.
Yeah.
That rivalry blown the league back.
I'm confused on your point though, because y'all keep bringing up what they not doing and what's not working here, what they need to do. Their viewership has went up.
That's what I'm saying. I said one of the things that I know the players are starting to do.
They haven't done none of that though. And it's going up. All they need is the eyes. They need to get more households to be able to watch these games. And once they do that, their viewership went up. They up 49% from 2 years ago. I don't count 2020. You had COVID. Now, I won't count that year. But they're up 49% from that year. The finals went up. Everything's going up.
Finals did go up.
With most of the stuff that they don't still got. They don't need that to go up. Absolutely. That's a small microcosm of being.
I think that will put them over the top.
It will help, but it's a small help.
I think it will put them over the top because every year they're still losing money as far as what's being invested into.
So let's touch on that. Let's touch on the money aspect as far as. We don't have all the facts and all the numbers, but I think one thing would help. I noticed that only out of the 6 teams, only 6 of the WNBA teams are partnered with actual NBA teams, and while the rest of them are independent. I feel like that's a problem right there, because I feel like if the teams were more partnered with the NBA teams, that may help with the financial aspect, the sponsorship and viewership and stuff like that, because it's like your sister company. So you want the owners for those teams should be more invested into making sure that other part of their product, as far as the WNBA,
but that's
promoted.
Probably where they look at it, because a lot of owners look like they do it. Are they going to invest in something that they see right now is losing money?
Right.
And they're not going to be willing to jump into that investment so easily. So I mean, hopefully, like you said, with the percentage going up, hopefully by the time this season come up, they might see a better increase in everything that they're doing from like you said, the viewership went up, so hopefully the profits start going up.
They got a lot of issues, bro.
Sponsorship might go up. Then you got to worry about the fanfare, people wanting, because jerseys is part, like jersey and fanfare is part of what grows a league.
Yeah.
So and truth be honest, I barely see any
that lack of merch.
Right, I'm saying you barely see people walking around here with WNBA jerseys.
Right. Well, look, one of the main issues, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but one of the main issues is the roster, right? they don't have as much flexibility in their rosters like NBA does, right? So they only can keep 12 players, right? If that player is injured,
it's done.
You don't have another 3 spots to put that injured player on. That's part of your active roster. So if you got 3 players injured, you only carrying 9 people every night. You can't sign nobody else. You had to cut that player, and now that player is done. Even if they're supposed to come back, you got to cut them for the short term because you need players. That is a issue for them. So many players are getting cut.
And there's another
issue with
and another issue. And then the other issue.
And that's money.
Right, but then the other issue I have in this, and I don't know how they're gonna fix this, is when the league start. Like, what was it, last year with the USA team? Because certain players paid for the USA team during the season, they wasn't available to play during the season because they playing on the US. Like, some of the star players wasn't on their teams. They went away in the middle of the season, played in the Olympics, and then came back by the time the players and everything started.
That ain't even the bigger issue. The bigger issue.
I'm just saying, I had a problem with that.
Didn't they used to pause the season before?
No.
I thought they paused it.
They didn't pause
back in the early.
No, sure? I don't remember them pausing. I mean, if they did, I don't remember them pausing.
Yeah, I thought they paused
the season starting this early because
it didn't. It used to start later.
It used to start after the finals.
It used to start after the finals. But now they starting in the middle of the finals. But like I said, last year I was upset because a lot of the teams, superstars, because they played on the USA team, they wasn't available to play for their teams for some parts of the game because they wasn't.
But that goes to my next point. You talking about something that happened like every 4 years,
right?
They deal with that every year,
right?
Because a lot of players go to Russia or other overseas teams,
right?
And they come back, and because they gonna pay me $1.4 million. Well, I'm gonna come back and play here for $125K. If I get $1 million over there, so now those players go over there and then they come back either late to training camp, or they might take the year off, or they might come in the middle of the season. Well, now due to the new CBA the women got, you can't do that no more. You can't come late to training camp no more. So now players won't have a choice. You either gonna go overseas for this money, or you just not gonna play that year, and that's the decision they're going to have to come up with now.
They basically put them in the sense where you invest and put everything in here.
Because they losing money at that point. If my best player come in
late,
or they beat up because they got an injury overseas, I'm not getting
the best product.
I'm not getting my best product. You no longer can do that. So now you won't see what happens now. What these players can't show up late anymore. So what you going to do?
They got to invest.
If y'all was them, what would y'all do?
It depends on what I want to do.
The player's point of view, because you got to be able to make money and
you're trying to feed your family, survive and feed your family.
And the frustrating part is you seeing how the men are getting their contracts and everything. So it got to be frustrating to be a pro athlete
and not getting paid a decent money.
But they got
struggling,
right? But they got to understand it didn't start off that way. It took a while for the men to get to that point.
I guess it's
they think it's just supposed to be like automatic.
Right.
It took years for the men to get to where they at right now.
It also took too long for them to even have a league over here as well. So at the same time, I guess they look. If you look at it at a broad perspective, where you see how fast everything is moving here,
right?
With advancement in technology and how people can make money here,
right?
Why can't they figure this out here? You know what I'm saying? Why can't they advance this situation? And it seems like they have all these resources, but the resources they have together is just not working.
Yeah, like why do y'all think overseas can pay them $1 million, like $1 million?
Because they got a league. Why?
Yeah, why you think like they're able to pay them $1 million? Like, you think like overseas? You think basketball is more popular in these places than it is?
Could be. Hey, women's basketball could be.
Women's basketball is more popular overseas than it is.
Especially if it's been.
No, I'm saying overseas.
Especially they started way before here.
Right. First of all, they started like you said. They started way before here. Secondly, it's way more.
This when the WNBA first started, Cynthia Cooper and them, like they were.
Only a couple people were making $1 million.
They were making money over there.
Yeah.
While when they found out, she was old when already.
Cooper, I know when Cooper was started, right?
Right. When she came here,
came over here, like they all dreamed of having a league here.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was never available. So women's sports is looked at differently, I think, overseas. So that goes to tell you the mindset here in America and how they view women's sports and things like that.
Women period.
Women's basketball, women period, and women's basketball, in pro sports. So that's just one of those things. Another mountain that's going to have to be climbed, I guess.
Yeah,
but, I do feel the frustration for the ladies because the resources are here, though. If anything, we can see clearly because the NBA is doing it. the resources financially are here. It's just, are they willing to help, or are they willing to use those same resources for the women? And that's where I feel like the owners of the NBA should be more invested into these teams for the WNBA for that to work. They're going to have to use their resources because they billionaires. Wow. Most of them are billionaires.
That's the issue. You can't do that. That's the issue. Because of the CBA they got over there, you only can put a certain amount of money to your team, no matter how rich you are.
So change the CBA and start there.
It's a new one now. So now you gotta wait another.
When the CBA's up, let's renegotiate this and change.
That's why Minnesota got in trouble.
But the league's got to survive. The league still's got to progress while this CBA is in effect.
Right.
If they start to lose revenue again, somebody owner them like I'm not pulling my resources.
Well, that's why they not. That's why the Minnesota Lynx owners got in trouble. They bought their team private charter flight.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they was doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. They kept it under the radar.
Right.
Once somebody found out, they told, and they got in trouble.
Right.
They were thinking about either suspending the franchise, terminating the franchise. That's how severe it was.
Right.
Or suspending all their draft picks, or fining them $1 million. Like,
which is crazy.
It's crazy. Like, why can't they do what they want to do for their players?
Owners felt like you're doing a competitive advantage because we can't afford to do that for our players.
I know.
So now you're creating a competitive advantage. Not all those owners got the same amount of revenue.
But I could have swore the NBA was doing that.
What?
The Lakers was doing that.
Cool.
When they started making money, they teams was remember that for a while. Even the NBA players were stuck flying
commercial flights.
No, the NBA don't worry about that in their CBA.
No, now I'm just saying. But I'm saying they were stuck flying commercial flights, and then the teams individually started making money. Like, oh, we putting our players on private jets.
Yeah, the NBA don't got a limit on how much they can spend on their team, but the WNBA do. Like, you can't. So because the Minnesota Lynx is owned by Joe, I don't know how to say his name, Joe Tsai.
Yeah, I know.
He has a team in the NBA, but they have money, so they pay for a place for them to go on vacation, and they got flights for them, private flights, and that's competitive advantage.
I need more WNBA teams as well.
Yeah,
this circle of teams.
Like 12 now.
Yeah, I
need get more people interested.
Right, I need more people.
More teams,
right, because there are certain cities. I'm like
easier said than done.
I know it's easier said. I'm just saying there's certain cities that. Like Philly, I'm pretty sure if Philly had a team, you'd probably have a little bit more.
Sure.
Right, you'll have an investment in Philly.
I love that.
Because
especially now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So if Philly had a WNBA team, that'd be like certain cities I know want to have WNBA teams, and they would love to be able to go to the games. Like, cause we had to travel to DC to go to a game.
Yeah. Right.
Or go up to New York to watch Liberty. Right. Yeah. That's it. Like that's I'm not hiking all the way up there just to go watch a basketball game. I wouldn't do that for the Knicks.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you need more teams in the league as well. So I don't know where that revenue's gonna come for that, but they
ain't worrying about that. The commissioner already said like they focus more on marketing, advertising, get more eyes on the product first, before they worrying about expansion. Expansion is not on.
But when you get your eyes on the product, you gotta make sure you're putting out your best product.
Right, but they gotta wait for that. That's later now. They worrying about making sure as many people can see this product first. Expansion is not what she's on right now.
Right.
Didn't they just put something out about voting for?
Yeah, then that was like a fan thing.
Yeah, that's a fan thing.
But she put out a message saying that's not what I'm trying to do in the next couple of years. It's all going to media, marketing. That's the focus right now.
Right.
We gotta. All right, we need to have a better business model,
right?
Before we worry about expanding. And that's what they're trying to do. Okay. That's why you see the player's salary go up.
I think that comes with ownership, though. Again, the problem. So that Minnesota Lynx owner was able to, fly his players' private jets and stuff like that. That's why I say I get it. These teams aren't really valued. They're not.
They're not looked at the same.
They're not looked at the same.
They're not looked at the same.
But some kind of way, we need billionaire owners to own these teams. The same owners that own NBA teams have to own these teams. But they can play with them. They have more resources,
flexibility.
Flexibility.
But you have to see a profit somewhere, and right now, unfortunately, nobody sees a profit with the WNBA.
But if there's a better business model and getting these owners to buy in,
that's what I'm saying.
Then we can
then you'll start seeing.
You'll be able to get to profitability at some point with a better business model. But just to point out, I know. It was like 2 years, I think, 2018 and 2019, where the WNBA started first seeing a few profits in that year or whatever. So.
Yeah, they started seeing a few profits with the stadiums and everything.
They had a record-breaking 38 sponsors to start the year. I mean, they're going in the right direction for sure. They're definitely trending.
It's a slow process.
Right, it's a slow process.
Well,
part of it is
slow process, but once you, the problem is once you tackle one area, you try to deal with that. Yeah. It's still 20 more other players they got to approve. So now you're knocking down one, but a year from now, we still gonna be talking about the other 19,
right?
And then you're gonna be talking about another 18.
Right.
It's not gonna happen overnight.
Yeah. No. It's not an overnight fix.
That's like decades.
It's decades.
Yeah.
Like the way it is moving right now, it seems like decades. But I think you start with ownership. You got to start with ownership.
I start with ownership, and I still believe the star power's got to get better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if you get that right, you need somebody to come in and be like, yo, that's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like Magic and Bird was an anomaly. MJ was an anomaly. LeBron's an anomaly. You need a female player to come in that's an anomaly. They're not just doing everything the female's doing, but she's seriously like, yo, that's a problem. She's taking over the whole league.
She got to transcend to overseas. Like, well, a lot of them transcend overseas, kind of. But I'm just saying, like, if she started here and transcended overseas, that's an anomaly.
A lot of that ain't fair, though, right? It's like, think about the players you named, right?
Right.
It's not.
LeBron and Mike are anomalies for what they do with their leaping ability. That helped them. They can't do that. Hold on.
I'm not going off of that.
I'm just saying, though, even if talking only goes so far, right? You trash talk, that only goes so far.
Okay.
Bird. Elite 3-point. We found an elite 3-point shooter. Nobody care. Nobody care if she can make 53s in a row. Nobody care.
But you're going off of their skill set. I had nothing to do with their skill set.
But that's what made them them. If they were bums, nobody cared.
But you're saying like their athleticism. Bird wasn't athletic at all.
Right. I'm saying
anomaly don't mean because Brittany Griner is to me.
She's an anomaly, but she don't dominate the league.
She don't dominate. Yeah.
She's an anomaly, but she don't dominate the league. I need the anomaly to dominate the league as well.
But she had game. She dominated the league. As much. The thing is, what anomaly is for a guy is not the same for a girl. So what you be saying? What an NBA guy ain't a fair comparison because genetic makeup won't allow him to do certain things.
I'm not worried about genetic makeup.
I'm just saying though, even if they did the same things, it still wouldn't be as looked as impressed that crazy.
What I'm talking, how many championships Brittany Griner got since she's been in the league?
I think she had like one.
Exactly. How many championships does my girl have?
Maya Moore got like 4. Doesn't do nothing.
Maya Moore, right?
She
retired. I know, but then she retired.
Right, but she didn't. She still didn't fit that anomaly.
But that's what I'm looking at for the anomaly to be. To have the championship.
Keep winning?
No, yeah, right. To have the championships that Maya Moore has.
I don't think people care that much, man. I don't think that's going to make somebody go watch it. Like, oh, they keep winning. Honestly, I don't even know the girls on the team, and so I don't care. I don't know who's in the team.
Honestly, I don't think it worked for her. But like, I hate to say this. But like it's a male chauvinist thing, she gotta have the look too.
What you mean the look?
She gotta have the look, like say like a Skylar Diggins look. Even if she won like 4 championships, they not promoting her. They not.
Oh, you mean the
yeah? See, they not promoting her and putting her out there.
But that's where the groupie version comes in.
I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
It does.
I'll put it this way. You know what? For the casual
casual
fan, it might matter. For people like us, it's not gonna matter.
Like if Skylar Diggins had like 4 rings right now, you don't think she would be in a whole bunch of commercials and
let me ask y'all
they pushing her?
Let me ask you this, because Tracy McGrady, it's 2 points I want to make. Tracy McGrady I watched a clip. Tracy McGrady said a while back, what if they lowered the rim to 9.5?
They make it like they can double
for the females.
For the females,
I think that takes away from their growth.
I know it takes away from their growth. I mean, we all know as basketball players.
But I think that takes away from their growth.
And that's almost, it's like you tipping the scale, and it's unfair too. You know what I mean?
Then anytime they try to promote them, they're gonna be like, "But they ain't high enough."
It's gonna be a negative.
I think that take away from their growth for me.
But the point he was making too was because it's for, and he made a point that a lot of guys view it, and how a lot of guys are saying, which what you were saying too.
What?
It's like it's not exciting enough. They're not dunking. They're not dunking on each other. He said, if I was to be, his words was. If I was watching this game and I'm seeing girls cross each other up and dunking on each other, that would make it more exciting. You can get me to watch it.
That's what we had.
They said most guys aren't watching that.
But that's what you had in the beginning of the league. Like my girl, I talk about all the time, Penny Tyler. She played for the Sparks.
She crossing people.
Right. Her handles were ridiculous back in the day.
But it still wasn't profitable.
Well, back then the league was popping back then in the first couple of
but it still wasn't profitable.
I know.
Even that still wasn't enough to.
Yeah, like it wasn't enough.
Yeah. NBA. It wasn't enough. So my other question was, if that anomaly player came in, because you said she had to have some kind of look or whatever, but if that anomaly player, female player, came in and she was skill set was crazy, like she had handles, she could shoot the lights out, and she could dunk, and she dunked more often than any other WNBA player did, and the team she was on, she carried that team and became like a dominant force and actually won back-to-back championships. Do you think that would increase the viewership?
Yes. I personally do believe that.
Because then you will see her other than on WNBA. Her popularity will stretch beyond WNBA.
It'll be in movies, TV shows, sitcoms, things of that nature. Right.
She'll be carried over to other sports.
I still you think you got to have a look to sell. You got to have a look to sell.
Everybody got to have a look to sell.
You got to have a certain look to sell.
Well, for Hollywood to sell, you got to have a look to sell.
You got to have a certain look to sell.
Even if that, though, you did a...
I don't know. Because
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
She look like a dude.
I'm saying it shouldn't, but it does. Well, it means a lot.
But look what they did with Magic. They always talked about his smile. MJ, the ball. Everybody, the ball.
That's why Skylar Diggins and Candace Parker were marketable, because people like the way they look. That's
why. But they wasn't. They ain't winning.
I know, but think about all he said. That nobody exists like that.
Right.
So that's not fair.
I didn't say it was fair. I'm not saying it's fair.
So what? Like, what's like? We can't.
But I think if you get that might help.
You build a female like that. Ain't
go in the lab.
I believe it's coming down the line because I'm watching these girls in the college.
This will eventually happen.
It's going to eventually happen. I'm watching these girls are playing in college, the way these players are coming up. Some of the high school highlights.
Be what he just named.
But you're talking right. You're talking about that
but
athletic anomaly. I don't care about that.
Right, but that's the selling point. Out of everything he named,
that's what you need. Well, she's a female, not a male. You know what I mean?
That's what's going to really take. If you remove that component,
that might be what they.
You know what I'm saying? But
I'd be surprised if they go that route.
Right, I know.
Probably in the works right now. We need profit. Well, listen, what we got?
Let's one in. We left one
in. I agree though, man. They got issues, man, because you keep tackling one. And, focusing on the ratings and the more viewership, that is one component of it. But their draft did go up this year. That's another part that went up. That went up by a lot of viewers. So people were intrigued to see who was getting drafted, right?
I think people...
But out of everybody that got drafted, none of them was...
Not superstar, right? Nobody
everything you name it that you need to see, I've seen a player have all that, and it didn't do nothing. Like, I didn't do nothing. I watched Maya Moore dominate the league. I watched players dominate. It didn't do nothing. Brianna Stewart dominate. Ain't do nothing.
You know who was a player? I think I don't know if y'all remember her. She was close to an anomaly, but she didn't have. I don't think the consistency. What was that? And she used to play on the Sparks. She had a crazy J and game like Kobe somewhere. And
Makiba.
Something
was it Makiba?
Something. Because she was balling, but she
remember that girl Makiba? Wasn't it Makiba something?
Yeah, I forget what you're talking about.
She was African.
She was African. I forget her name.
She was back there doing Lisa Leslie days.
Jump shot wasn't even.
Yeah, I remember her. I can't remember her full name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
She was dark skinned.
Right. Yeah. Then you had what Shamika when they had Shamika. Right. Then her injury messed her up, slowed her up for a little bit. They thought she was gonna be able to carry
her head.
Yeah. What do y'all think about that in WNBA, the coaches can get paid 4 times more than the players?
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand
that. Well, the issue is the CBA, right, that they have. Coaches' salary is not in the CBA.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Players is.
Right, the players is, but the coaches is.
They're capped on how much they can make.
Yes, I said I don't. But I'm saying I don't understand. I don't like it. Like that makes no sense to me.
Right. I don't know how they voted for the CBA. I don't hear nothing good about the CBA.
Well, all right. So this what happened for the CBA that the players got, right? They got an increase in max salaries. So it used to be like $115K. Now it's like $250. Okay. So
So that growth.
It grew a little bit.
That's
right?
a little bit growth.
That grew there. I think they had maternity leave. That got
added.
More of a focus there, and then a lot of it was just far as the overall what they can get, like just far as revenue sharing, profit sharing, like that increase. They got more of a more fair split than they had before because it was a big
that's proportion. That argument I supported 100%. The split that they were getting compared to what that split was ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. So they got better as far as that goes. They got an increase in the salary cap, so you can get more players or pay players even more. But one of the coaches said it wasn't significant enough. Like it was like $300,000 extra, but they were saying that only really helps star players.
It doesn't help the regular players, right?
It just helps them get a higher max. So it's up to you how you feel about that.
But they had to vote on that, right?
Yeah, they voted on it. I mean, they took the higher salary, the paternity leave, and the more profit sharing. I should
have figured out who is the head of the players for them.
Adumiki. She had a twin sister. She played for the Sparks.
Okay.
She be with Draymond and them on the.
Yeah.
Not Shanae is the younger one. She's involved with that too, though. They both of them.
Yeah, they both of them are involved, but one of them is the older one is the
Okay.
And she's new at that role, so
that's what I thought.
So for her to just get in there
and they throw that, that's what I was wondering.
So her outlook of the league is like, this is a good start.
Right.
Now let's go.
Next time we gonna go for
we're gonna go for big.
Another point. I noticed in a little bit of research they lost their commissioner. They lost their two other positions that people stepped down from.
Yeah.
Do you think that's part of the reason that's happening is because of the?
Well, all that contributes.
You think that's because of all
that contributes because again, if you go to the commissioner's part, the NBA wouldn't be where it was at without David Stern. David Stern picked it up, so the commissioner plays a factor. I don't think that's a major factor, but it does play a factor.
He had a vision. David Stern had a vision.
Right, he had a vision which way he wanted the league to grow. So that does play a factor.
So what do you think about like Adam Silver, one of his like undermen or whatever, proteges or whatever, being a commissioner for the WNBA, like, or should the NBA be involved to? Because they say they're involved and they're partner with it, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well, if this is happening, if you notice this is happening, what can y'all do to? And I don't know what they're doing and what they're not doing, but I'm just saying, why don't y'all come over and
it's not no data on what's being done or what's not being done, so you can't. Even if it's you can't say either or. Like, you can't say they're not doing
enough. You can't. Right.
It's all speculating.
Right. It's all speculation. Right.
You need somebody with a vision, not like a like a 5-year, 10-year vision.
I think that's what they got. That's what CBA was.
I think that's what they got.
I think that's what CBA was. I think yes, maybe we got to stop looking at it the way we look at it, right? Like when an easy fix, right? Like once something happens, it's not just going to change, right? It's not
right. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, we need to start looking at it as of a 5-year thing, right? So whatever
they can plan. They can plan.
Like, but they need to look at it too. The players.
Well, Diana Taurasi came out today. She was like, "Yo, I mean, she probably saying this, but she got to. But I don't know." But they asked her, "How you think the outlook of the league looks?" She's like, "Next 25 years." We about to see something we never saw before. This is going to be a great league.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
25 years.
Yeah, no, 25. I agree with that.
Somebody else said that too. Somebody else spoke about that too. It said next 25 years is going to be.
Because what happens is you hear a lot of people, even again going back to even just when you look at how people view the league, both male and female. Another thing that a lot of people was complaining about was the women screaming how about everything they got playing. They're like, yo. We know, play ball, increase it, and just let that work on its own. A lot of people just got upset saying y'all complaining too much. I'm like, no, I see what their point is. Like they have a point as to why they complaining, but a lot of people just say they don't watch it because they don't want to hear the complaining.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right, this part you can cut out, if you need to cut it out. I just want to ask y'all a question.
Never mind. I'll go. I'll go.
No. All I was saying is like you said, they started early. Right.
Overseas they started.
No, they started early here. I'm talking about the games. The season started early.
Okay, what about it?
So what about like the teams that have both, like the male and the female league, right? When playoff time come, to where you have like combine it to where they play first and then the playoff game playing after that. And you just charge a little extra for the tickets.
What do you mean play first?
The female game will play first. The regular season game. And then after that, you get a double header.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
And then the playoff game comes afterwards.
Meaning
you just charge a little extra more with the ticket.
If you buy the ticket for the men's,
come early, you get the WNBA.
You get the WNBA. You just pay a little extra, and you get to watch both.
Yeah,
that might not be a bad.
idea, but that's not gonna work.
I can't.
It's not gonna work
because you know how long it takes for them to change the floor.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
That's what I'm asking. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Now, 2022, we don't have digital form.
Right, you know what I mean? Hit a button, the wind move by itself. You know what I mean? No, it's an option. It's an option.
Just to see if it helps increase. Like, it can't hurt. It can only help increase.
That's an option.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I think you was on something with the same thing, because I think if you piggyback it off of the...
But you
they play that morning.
Right, but you can't have the time to switch it.
Yeah. I know.
And then I'm not going to leave the stadium and come back. I'm not doing that.
Listen, man, then the issue you're going to have is TV deals now going to... You have to have the same the intertwined TV deals.
Yeah,
that's
why I'm just trying, something to bring more.
Might necessarily be that game might not necessarily be televised, unfortunately.
Yes, right. But
that's gonna be old in this day and age.
But I think the owners should look into that and offer it. It can't hurt them because if a person's buying a ticket and they don't spend it, you still made that money regardless. They'll come back to the game. I still made that money.
Question for y'all: True. Do y'all think when the bubble happened, the 2020 happened, and how the WNBA took a full head charge in the social justice.
Yes.
And they were looking way better than the men.
They took the lead.
Do you think that helped them with that increase the next year? Or do you think that increase was destined already? Because they got a lot of props and a lot of,
No, I think that helped them.
You think that helped more eyes get on it? Like, let me check these girls out because of what they're doing. Like, again, what I just said, there was more viewed now outside of basketball. You saw them being outspoken. But nobody watched. They had low ratings in the 20.
But I know who
afterwards.
I know who Diana Taurasi is. I know who Brittany Griner is. I know who Candace Parker was. I knew who Maya Moore was. You had everybody being outspoken outside of basketball to where you've seen these people outside of basketball.
Right.
So now you okay, she played for the WNBA. Right. They might not watch the bubble, but they might be looking at the the next season. Like, all right, it's on TV. Let me check. Like, I might flip to the channel before to where they say Diana Taurasi playing ball. Yeah. I might have turned the channel where now, like, let me see how she play. I seen her out in public. Let me see how she play.
And that's the problem back again, full surface, because a lot of people don't know these WNBA players outside of basketball.
Right.
Or a person who loves basketball and is invested in know who these players are.
That's why I like how they got
to make their name elsewhere.
Right. That's why I like how Candace is on Candace is an analyst now. Right. I like to see that they got it in different fields.
Shanae, she's doing like a lot of Candace. A lot of them when they do step into that, and it's good that they can do that while still being employed, and being an active player.
Right.
Because then that is like you said, they got to brand themselves. That's part of it now.
Yeah, you got to be right. You got to brand yourself.
Then it's like it's an issue for them because like. What honestly can they do that somebody might look at them different from if a NBA player was doing it, right? No. You're not gonna really, if they try to be on there and tell jokes to be a comedy, you're not gonna look at it and say, you're gonna be like, man, this ain't funny. Like they don't get judged the right way like they should. The only reason somebody put their eyes on some of these girls is they look or what they do with their body. Liz Cambridge got her OnlyFans. A lot of people know about that. Because she's showing her body, right?
I didn't even know she had that.
I'm about to go look that up. I didn't know.
A lot of people talk about Candace because of her looks. Skylar because of her looks. The reason why you checking them out outside of basketball is because of other things that's not probably something they want to do.
I understand that, but I understand. I mean, not to that extreme. But I understand that. But that's the same thing that grew the NBA. Like the NBA
body?
No, the looks. Like. Be honest, some of the dudes were some of the fanfare that came from the women wasn't just because the
women don't hold a candle to why the NBA is where it's at now. The men do.
No.
Yes, they do, man. Most of their viewers are men. They can hold all that.
You're talking about viewership. I'm talking
about everything. Media, social media is all men. They run by men websites. Bleacher Report is run by a man.
You're talking
Outside Highlights is men.
But I'm talking about as far as you're getting the extra that you're not getting for the WNBA. You're not getting that extra.
Merch, men, man. It's all men. What the NBA is mostly men, man. Men drive that product. So it don't really matter.
You're talking about driving the product. What I'm saying is you're getting extra. You're getting the fanfare.
Yeah.
But now you're also getting the extra fanfare that they don't give a dang about basketball. Yeah. They only there for the stardom and the attention or trying to get some dude attention that got money. You're not getting that with the WNBA
that's not as big
right
of a
now.
portion as you think it is. That's not that big of a
portion. It's 30%. It's 30% of the revenue. Look it up. It's 30% of the revenue. That's still 30% that you don't got. Regardless of how big of a portion, that's still 30% you don't got.
It's not that big of a portion. That people that just invest so much into the NBA without knowing anything about it. Like those people know they either play 2K, they know somebody. Like it's something invested. There's not a lot of cash.
But that's another thing that helped them too, though.
NBA is too big for that. Like,
they're too big now. But I'm talking about that started the growth.
Yeah.
That started the growth when you started getting that attention.
Let me ask you personally then. What's going to take you to look at somebody, a female WNBA player outside of basketball?
I do that now.
I'm saying,
special talent.
Yeah, what would it take for you to look at?
As a casual, you talking about me or a casual fan? Because I'm doing that now.
I'm talking about casual fan. Like, what would it take?
Special talent, special skill.
Anything rap, you know what I mean?
Something else they do outside of basketball that brings the attention to. That brings attention to them. That's a fan favorite. Put them in a movie. Make them a super star. Make them a star of a movie. The way you see them as an actor. Oh, she played basketball too. Let me see how she know that. Yeah, something like that. Probably bring more attention to them. Something of an extra.
Because you want to see what else they do.
Right. And that will bring extra attention to him. Is it fair? No, but you're trying to grow it.
So I have two careers. I get.
Yes, you do.
Unfortunately,
you got to do what you got to do to grow the league. What the players had to do, like the dudes had to do. They had to do these commercials they didn't want to do. They had to go out and get these sponsors they didn't want to do.
The NBA sold them for themselves.
And not at first. You had to go out and do it.
Now, you got to compare it to what they're going through now. Everything
that's not fair to compare it to now because that's 75 years versus 25.
No, because they didn't have the resources. Now people have the resources.
You can have the resources, but you still don't have the attention.
So
you need the attention.
So the social media is probably be the best avenue for them.
Yeah. I can't say that because I follow a lot of these WNBA.
Like even
social media still ain't that popular.
No, that's their fault. I'm not saying that it is popping. I'm saying that's the route because everything right now.
Oh yeah, social media. Yeah, I agree.
So they need So if they really want to increase their brand and their popularity and get people noticing them, they got to have somebody in marketing and so do it with social media.
Like even if
I agree.
Two players like started a page where they were talking about the men's games. And telling the truth on like, yo, so and so, listen that, you know what I mean? They start bringing attention to them.
I got something right now.
What's up?
One of the dopest WNBA players right now, right? Mm-hmm. She could start a whole social media platform of videos or YouTube page or whatever of just busting a guy's behind 1-on-1.
They do that now.
They do it.
They do it now. They do it now.
So, her name Ariel Power. She go to gyms right now.
Yep.
She fry
everybody in the gym. I be watching all. Yo, she talk. I be watching all her videos. Yeah, I be watching all her videos. Right, she doing it.
Like I'm saying, she doing that right. Nobody's still checking for. A lot of people don't even know her name still, and I watch every time she do it.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So a lot of times we gotta be honest of what the person gonna check for.
But then it's your fault.
I'm watching it.
Because you ain't sending it to me.
No.
I ain't know about it. It's your fault. He ain't sent it to me.
I know, but see,
I got spread it.
But I found it.
That's got to get in the hands of
and spread around.
Right.
Well, that's the issue, right? Like they show their special talent, man. Y'all, them comments gonna be nasty, y'all. Y'all think they're gonna be supportive and chip.
I don't think they're gonna be supportive, but it's
there's always people out there going
you won't have to deal with it. It's a narrative you're gonna have to fight through.
Yeah.
But if you don't fight that narrative, it's only making your product worse. It's not helping it.
Do you think more? If you think if it started now, I think you got to start as a youth. That's the only way you can change narratives if it starts as a youth.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Household, they gotta find a way to latch on to a household, and it be built up to that child from then. Mm-hmm. Like if you have a son that play ball, have him look at some females female players like. Not just idolize all men, like be like, yo, she was dope. She was
like Sheila Sue Bird. She watch the way she played the game.
My pop did it for me when Dawn Staley used to play at junior high school. He took me to one of her games to watch her play.
And it's something too because of our upbringing. We like you said, your dad did. Mm-hmm. We hear about those who played in college.
Yeah, because it wasn't on TV.
The females,
right? It wasn't on TV.
The reputation, the street reputation, and everything, it carried enough for us to go take.
Go check them out.
Basketball fans, true. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the youth watching basketball today.
They don't even know who
a lot of the
NBA players are nowadays, right? Even with social media and everything, they don't.
Past or present,
right.
I thought I was super old when I was talking to this young kid, and he said he didn't know who Tracy McGrady was. I'm like, what?
They don't know who nothing is.
It's just like it's a lot.
But here's the thing. But here's the difference, though. Like with my sons, they don't know who the average basketball player. They know Kobe. They know LeBron. They know Michael. They know the anomalies. So that's what I'm saying. To me, you need that.
Talk about them so much.
Because you fell on them, man. You fell on them. You gotta tell them about the other guys.
No, they knew it on their own. I didn't have to introduce them to them.
You gotta introduce them.
I'm gonna introduce them to the rest of the
One per week.
Right.
One per week.
First, you gotta get the love in the game. But what I'm saying is they came
to walk by.
They came to me already knowing their names. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's because if they sit in the same room with you for 10 minutes, no matter what you watching, they probably heard LeBron name 5 times. In those 10 minutes, just because his name just gonna pop up.
Not really, because I can't. That doesn't go around in my house. No,
that doesn't go around. You watching the NBA game and they sitting down there, they probably heard LeBron name 4 times.
I yell when Tatum was playing, when Tracy was playing. I yell when everybody was playing. You know that. So it wasn't just one specific name going around.
I think a lot of things though, just include right. I think this is a small little fix, but I do think what can help name recognition in 2K. They got females in there now, finally, right? I think that would have helped if you had it sooner.
Yeah.
They should allow you to play a woman versus a guy in blacktop or in game. They don't let you do that. They only let you do women.
I can see how it get nasty.
I'm saying that. I'm saying is one is because a lot of guys will pick the girl just to see if they can beat you, right?
Right.
They will keep talking about it. I just think it would be a fun thing to do, right? Just to have them.
I don't disagree with that. I just see how that can
have a season. They would draft girls just to have them on their squad and fry them. And you want to get talking trash here and there, but you won't keep saying that girl name.
And you'll learn.
You won't learn who she is. You won't keep saying that name. Like you won't have fun. I'm gonna pick a girl to see if I cross you. Cross LeBron.
I'm gonna do it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right. And that video gonna get uploaded to YouTube, and it's gonna keep people gonna talk about it. Like I just think ain't no fix, but it's just including them more in a lot of things
instead of separating them, because right now they got separate, like even on the game, WNBA over here, and you can never mix or combine the two.
And then my last point, the main issue is they can't have patience right now because of the era we're in. But they're watching everything the men are getting. Full center, and you're asking them to practice patience. And
but the men didn't start off that way. That's what they got.
No, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. Make it harder because now we're in a woke era too. Yeah. So now a lot of things are getting driven back to not old things, but problems that been plaguing the world forever.
Right. That's why I said too. Everything's more advanced today. Mm-hmm. That's why it's even harder for them to have that patience. Because there's so much more financial resources here.
Right, but as individuals, they gotta they gotta take advantage of that as themselves.
And unfortunately,
until it gets to that point,
because the league can't help them.
Right,
the league can't help them.
Right, they gotta do it themselves.
This is a good breakdown. I mean, just tackling WNBA.
Think anything we missed? Anything we might have missed?
I could go another 40 minutes. But
there's always stuff out there.
That's what I'm saying.
There's always stuff out there. I mean, I go a lot, but I think that's one. Also, I do want to mention this though. One of the things they do need though is a G League, bro. Like they don't got a developmental league, so that's why you keep getting all these good players get cut. Like Tia Cooper got cut, and she belonged on the team. Tia Cooper belongs on the team. So she got cut.
Look how long it took them to get developed.
The draft hurts them actually because there ain't enough teams and enough.
It's so many picks. They have so many picks.
And you need more. Like you said, you need more teams. You need more teams to put these players.
They also need a development league too. Like you need somewhere for.
Look how long it took the NBA to get developed.
That's what I'm saying.
Development league, you gonna be making minimum wage.
You gonna be making like $20 grand a year. Like seriously.
So roster is an issue currently.
Shoot, put the women in the men's development league.
Right
now that. I would like that, but I can see how that can get bad.
It could get bad.
I can see how that can get bad.
You start playing with that.
I can see how it get bad, but I would agree, but I can see how that can get bad.
Yeah, and I mean,
of course you gotta protect the ladies though.
That's what I'm saying. I can see how they get back, and then dudes gonna be playing certain calls that they get, and they not like. I can see how they start turning.
Before though, I said it's always gonna be another issue.
Right, it's gonna be another complaint.
Right, roster is a big thing they trying to focus on because they're like, yo, good players are getting cut because we don't got enough rosters, but. How you gonna deal with that and deal with expansion and deal with this and deal with that?
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
It's hard to practice patience.
I know, I understand, but if you want to see this thing grow, one step at a time. A tree doesn't grow overnight; it grows over time.
I think it'd be easier if they felt like they wasn't getting disrespected by not only the league they're in, but the fans that's watching it.
Yeah.
If they didn't feel like that, they'd be cool. But they feel like the league disrespecting them with their treatment, and then they feel like the fans are disrespecting them. So it's like a.
Listen, I'm gonna stand.
It's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose. I'm gonna stand on my point. Guys follow the women. If women start watching that league, I think they will increase the women.
Now nobody want to go to Russia no more.
Right?
Probably not going to go to Russia.
Yeah, you ain't going there no more.
And then they a lot of players say they like going overseas because they feel
make no money and they treat it like a player. Right? They're treated like a king. Right?
Basketball player.
Yeah.
So
I didn't blame him.
The best player on the team.
Right, I ain't blame him.
Yeah, well, we can go overseas and get treated like a basketball player.
Exactly, because right.
Well, they also said because most of the players, the best players are there too. So they feel like not only are they growing their game because they're going against the best WNBA players too, they also they're going every day of practice, going against Salaries. Yeah, the high competition that they're going to play in the WNBA. So
Cynthia Cooper
takes time.
Memoir thing.
You know what I think might be interesting? maybe the players who go overseas should play for the teams on the Olympics.
Oh, so
just like see, I'm gonna stay over here. This is what I'm being treated at. Then we'll see y'all don't start increasing this revenue to get us to play for the USA again.
But yeah, this is where we stayed on WNBA. Just break it down.
Also, rushing and hoping for Brittany Griner to get home safely, please.
Yeah. So echo that as well. Look, man, it was a good topic, man. Long one, but
you keep going on and on.
To take with the WNBA. I wish them success. I do see the progress they are making,
right? And
it's going to continue to happen, either inch by inch or mile by mile. Well, it's going to keep happening. So
got our support.
Stay tuned. But it's another episode. Let's talk about it. Peace. If you like the content, subscribe, give us some feedback. Peace.